Greetings, crafty friends, and welcome to the Cowboy Quokka Release video hop. I'm Shannon with the Kat Scrappiness Creative Crew. If you'd like to participate in the video hop, simply click the link provided in the description box below to view all the videos from our creative crew. One lucky hopper will win a $15 gift card to the Kat Scrappiness store. To be eligible, make sure you subscribe to the Kat Scrappiness newsletter. Then fill out the Rafflecopter entry form. You can complete the Rafflecopter entry form at each stop along the hop for more chances to win. While you're hopping, we would appreciate it if you would give those videos a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button at each stop along the hop. Your support truly means the world to us. All the necessary links, including the Creative Crew hop list, Kat Scrappiness newsletter subscription, and the Rafflecopter entry forms are conveniently located in the description box below the video. Now let's get started. Here are the stamp sets that are included in the new release, the Cowboy Quokka new release. The Cowboy Quokka stamp set has lots of Cowboy Quokkas, as you can see, and some cactus, boots, hat, horseshoe, another cactus, and a daisy. So there's coordinating dies for the stamps, for all of the stamps that are included in the Cowboy Quokka stamp set. Then there's also the Cowboy Quokka sentiments that has several cowboyish, countryish sentiments that are in a real cute Western font. This one does not have a coordinating die set. There's also the cow spots stencil, and that's a 6x6 stencil. And there's one more stencil, and that is the bandana background. Let's see if we can get a clear look at that. Very cute bandana stencil. I won't be using that today. Today I'll be using the cowboy spots and the clouds and grass stencil, and we're going to start with the cowboy spots. Or I'm sorry, cow spots, not cowboy spots. That would be funny, you spotted cowboy. Let's see here. We have my silicone mat, and we're going to tape down the paper to the stencil if I can find some tape. And stencil is lined up. Tape that down on each side. There we go. Bring out my paw and my ink pad. And my stencil brush. And this is going to be just a background, or I'm sorry, a matte layer for my card panel, so I'm just going to do my stenciling around the outside. There's no need to put any ink on the center. And this is just kind of an orangey brown ink that I'm inking this up with. I really like the way that when you're stenciling that the ink gets heavy around the outer edge of the details and how it's lighter in the center. Okay, there we go. I'm going to start with the grass from the clouds and grass stencil, and I need a blending brush for my green. And I'll show you the nifty trick with this stencil. I'm starting with a darker green, and putting that along the top and along the sides of the bottom portion of the stencil. And then we're going to add a lighter ink to give it more depth than just having one color of ink on the grass. Okay, there's the dark ink. And then the light ink. Oh, the top doesn't want to come off. There we go. Ink up my blending brush, and then down towards the center, I'm going to blend this lighter color ink to give it more depth than having just one color of grass. And I'm using my rag, wipe this ink off towards the stenciled image. Now, the trick I was talking about is the top portion of this stencil lines up with the bottom portion of it lines up with the stenciled image. My tape doesn't want to stick to the silicone. Well, I guess I'm holding that with one hand. Okay, so now we're going to do the clouds, and that's with a light blue ink. And the way I like to do the clouds is I will put the heavier ink just above the scallops of the stencil, or in this case below. So it'll just give me those little scallops with the dark blend of the ink. See how I did that? And then I'll move my stencil so that I can add more clouds. And what I do is I just line up an edge here with the clouds that are already stenciled, and then just bring my ink above those scallops again. There we go. And I suppose we can do one more set of clouds here. And I'm going to hold both of the stencils with my hand. Oops. Right now, since I'm not going to be stenciling above the grass just yet, I'm just going to hold the cloud stencil. There we go. Now what I like to do is I'll hold this stencil on the grass and put the heavier ink just above the grass. And then the ink that's remaining on my brush, I'll go over the white areas so it's not so stark white. There we go. And we're going to trim this panel down so we can have the cow spots stenciled panel show under the clouds and grass stencil image, or stenciled panel. So I'm going to cut a quarter, or should we do a quarter? Yeah, we'll do a quarter of an inch on each side. Turn it around. So this will be 3 3/4 wide, and then we'll do a quarter of an inch off the top and a quarter of an inch off the bottom. So it'll be 5 inches tall. There we go. And I already have a colored image, a stamped and colored image. But if you're not interested in doing coloring, we do have a Cowboy Quokka die cut ephemera. These die cut pieces come already cut, and there's the same images that are in the stamp set. So there's the Quokka on the horse, the two Quokkas, the one with the rope around his ankles. We have boots, cowboy hat, cactus. That's the same image. The cowgirl Quokka and the cowboy and cowgirl Quokka, and another cactus, and also the daisy. So if you don't like coloring yourself, you can buy them pre-colored, the die cuts. They come 35 pieces in the pack, and it looks like there's 2 of each of the cowboys and cowgirl, with an exception of the cowgirl by herself comes with 3. There's 4 horseshoes, 4 of the, is that a Segura cactus, and 4 of the, that is, I think it's called a paddle cactus, and then 4 of the daisies. So it comes with lots of images for you to add to your cards or scrapbook layouts. Okay, next we are going to bring out the stamp tool. And we are going to stamp a sentiment onto our card panel. So I'll just put that down with my magnets. And oh, here's my ink. And the sentiment that I'm going to use is "Yeehaw!" And let's bring in, where did my stamped image go? Let's see where we want this so we can get this to fit. Magnets in the way. There we go. Let me make sure that is, pull this out of the way. Make sure that's straight. Looks good. Just ink up my stamp. Make sure my panel's in the corner. Stamp that down. Give it some pressure. Good. I've gone ahead and glued my image onto the front of the panel, and now we're going to, I've put some double-sided foam tape on the back of that panel. Remove the release paper. And I'm going to add some glue to these just so I have some wiggle room when I put this panel down in case I don't get it straight the first time. That looks good. Give it a press. There we go. Now, one thing that I do when I make cards is I don't add them to an actual card base until I'm ready to send them out. That gives for 2 reasons. One, when I'm storing them, there's less bulk to storing just the card front. And also, when I want to send the card out, I can personalize the sentiment that I stamp inside the card when I know who I'm going to send it to. This says, "Yeehaw." This would be something like a congratulations or a "yay, I'm proud of you" type card. And the sentiment that I would stamp on the inside might have something to do with congratulations, but I don't know until I'm ready to send it out and who I'm going to send it to. Another thing is when you add this to a card base and you have a lot of bulk, it makes it more difficult to stamp that image or stamp the sentiment on the inside of the panel, inside of the card base, if you have bulk on the front of the card. So I'll stamp it before I add it to the card, add the front panel to the card base. Understand what I'm saying? Are you following me? Okay, thanks so much for watching. Again, I would appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button. Be sure to watch the rest of the videos from the Creative Crew and the Video Hop. The list is in the link below, and enter to win that $15 gift certificate to the Kat Scrappiness store. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.